This
Camera somehow
conference
I'm
will
trying
now
to
be
fix.
recorded.
There we go.
Trying to fix my camera. Sorry.
Okay. Hi,
Yeah,
RuPaul. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you. Good to see you, everybody.
Okay. Calling to order the our Recreation Advisory meeting, committee meeting for March 19th, 2025. So for attendance, I see Dave, Sally, Ann, Emma, Wayne, Councillor Davey, Kim, and I hear RuPaul. I don't see or hear Samantha or Irina.
Irina's there.
Irina
I don't
is
see her.
here. I know my camera, for some reason, the browser doesn't allow the camera. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
same
fix
thing.
it.
Same thing
Okay.
with me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can hear you.
Great.
So, any disclosure of pecuniary interest?
No.
No. No.
Brad? That's just a joke. Okay.
I get it.
Approval of agenda for March 19th, 2025.
Move it.
Okay, Dave, second. Melinda, okay, all in favor. Review of draft minutes of January 15th. Is there anything anyone would like to talk about from those minutes? And for the new members, anything you want to ask about that you saw on the minutes that you want to bring up, feel free.
No.
Okay.
Nope. Thanks for the opportunity, but it all made sense. It was interesting to read. I don't have any particular questions at this moment.
Okay.
I'll
Kim,
hide my
anything?
ignorance for a little bit longer.
Okay.
No, I thought the minutes were very well done, Emma. Thank you very much. Great job.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. A motion to adopt the minutes of January 15th. Melinda, Dave, all in favor?
That's
Okay.
me too.
Thank
Cannot
you.
see me.
Okay. Any business arising from those minutes?
Already in the agenda, I think.
Okay.
Mike, maybe I could get you to just back up a little bit and do an official welcome to our new members.
Okay. Well, we have 3 new members, which is wonderful to see. So I have I can see Wayne and I can hear Irina and Samantha as well.
I don't think Sam's online.
Okay, I can hear
I haven't
Irina.
seen Samantha.
Let me
Okay.
see here. No.
Well, we definitely want to welcome you to the Recreation Advisory Committee. We definitely could use your help and your ideas. So welcome aboard.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yay. I'm just looking here at the minutes and I'm just thinking of one thing, and that's that to Irina and Wayne, and Sam, should probably send you a copy of our 2025 meeting dates and special event dates, just so that you have that. I see it was talked about at last meeting and confirmed the dates, so I will send those to you so you've got those for your calendar. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I do have one
Any
question.
questions? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Wayne.
Are the meetings always virtual, or do we ever get together live?
They have been virtual for a while now, but I guess Kim, you'd be best to answer that question.
Sure. We've chosen to go with virtual meetings, Wayne, simply because we've got some members of the committee who are not comfortable with driving in the evening. So I guess that's more pertaining to the winter months. And then just some members of the committee find it easier to meet virtually than to actually be at the office. So mostly though, because of the evening driving is why we've chosen to go virtual.
Okay, thank you.
We don't have the capacity to do hybrid,
Mm.
which would have been, the preference after COVID to say, well, let's always meet in person. But if you can't come or you can't make it, you're going to be late, call from your car or whatever, and you can be involved in the meeting. But we're not able to do that. So it's either or.
Gotcha. Makes sense then.
We do all get together for special events.
Look forward to it.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions from the public, Kim, or any delegations?
No delegations, no, and there were no questions submitted in advance.
Okay. Unfinished business and deferred items. Winterfest review.
Okay. I guess this is the first time we've met since Winterfest, so this is our regular, review of the event and all the things that were wonderful and all of the things that we think we might be able to make some improvements on. Wayne and Irina, I don't know have you ever attended Winterfest? Are you familiar with it or?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay.
When my kids were a
Okay.
bit younger, we did come several times, but it's been a little while.
I can't believe that, I can say that I was doing Winterfest when my children were young, and now my grandchildren are coming to Winterfest, which is how long have I been doing Winterfest? So that's a little scary. But Irina, just to give you a quick, very quick synopsis, Winterfest is Mono's opportunity to let all of our residents know about the wonderful activities that they can participate in the wintertime, and some in the summertime, things that will get people active, physical activity opportunities in Mono. So we do everything from cross-country skiing to tobogganing to snowshoeing to ice skating. We have an outdoor obstacle course. We have horse-drawn sleigh rides. We normally have a live band, free hot apple cider. We do marshmallows on an open fire outside. And then I think I've got the outside activities, and then inside we do community booths of all of the things that are going on in Mono that people may be interested in. We do a snowflake draw, which is always a big hit. Local businesses support our snowflake draw by donating prizes, and then we sell tickets for people for the opportunity that they may win one of the prizes, and that definitely is one of the main it is the main fundraiser of the whole event, which helps us put that event on. And then we have a lunch counter. We give away popcorn. Downstairs we have pickleball demonstrations and opportunities for people to participate and try their hand at pickleball and tennis and ping pong. Yeah, I think I've got it all. Did I forget anything?
Did you mention the horse-drawn sleigh?
Yes, she did.
You did. Okay.
Okay, great. Yeah, so it's a all around very, very successful event. We have quite a few. We estimated this year approximately 600 to 700 people were in attendance. Mother Nature was on our side this year. It was great weather. Absolutely, probably one of the best years we've ever had weather-wise. And the skating rink out there, which is put in by volunteers, they had it they had it up and ready for us. It was in great condition, and Dave Mole does a lot of work with getting the cross country ski trails ready, and Dave also is a member of the Mono Nordic Ski Club, so Dave works with them, and they come out and offer the opportunity for skiing. We have our own snowshoes now at Mono. We have 40 pairs of snowshoes that are in what we call our lending library, is thanks to an Ontario Trillium Fund grant that we were successful in getting a couple of years ago. So we offer people the opportunity to go snowshoeing, and just put a plug in there for that right now as well. Those snowshoes, people are more than welcome to come and borrow a pair of snowshoes or however many pairs they need for a weekend. They pick them up on Thursday, bring them back to us on Monday. There's no cost to it. It's a program that we run through the Recreation Department and the RAC Committee. And yeah, this year was our second year. We had more uptake on it. So we're hoping that each year the snowshoe lending library gets more and more popular. I've got a few ideas about that for next year, but we'll hold that off for until we get to it on the agenda. Or I'm not sure if I have it on the agenda. If not, we'll talk about it probably next time.
Mm-hmm.
Dave?
I think this year was a better year for snowshoeing
Yes.
because there was enough snow to actually make snowshoeing, beneficial or productive. In the past few years, there hasn't been very much snow, and so people weren't inclined to go snowshoeing. But this year, the weather was perfect. There was lots of snow, both on the day of our event and really throughout the whole month of February. So for winter sports activities, February was just about ideal.
Yes. Does anyone have any comments regarding the actual event that did take place? Any suggestions for next year? Any what can we do better? Any what we did great? Always like to pat ourselves on the back.
Near the end of it, when I went to the kitchen window, there seemed to be a lot of leftover snacks like cookies and donuts, which I was surprised because usually the donuts always sell out.
I'm trying to think. Anyone here in the kitchen? No. It was all
Um,
volunteers.
I was there, but
Oh, good.
this,
Rupal's there. Okay.
yeah, this time, last time we did all these donuts and all as a separate table, but this time we put it in the kitchen, and like we used to bring it outside as required. So maybe that's why, because last time we had a good demonstration of all kind of like donuts, so people used to choose and get fascinated by having more. But this time we used to we keep it in, because there was no enough space for the table where to put. So that's why
I thought
we had only one table, but last time we had a very good two tables, and we put all the donuts on the two table demonstrators. So
okay. So I thought there were donuts out on the Toonie table and that they were just being replenished as required,
yes, yeah,
right? So they were on the Toonie table.
but wasn't enough. I mean, to attract people. I think because last time it was last time we had all kind of different varieties of the donuts displayed on the table, but this time we had all kind of we tried to, but like there was not enough quantity. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe it's not that attractive to too much, because we displayed only with one table. Last time we had two tables, right, Anne? And
That's
then
correct.
yeah.
That's correct, Rupal. We did have two tables last year, and we had at least 6 boxes of donuts displayed, and they, all the different colors, and it was very attractive. I did not attend this year, as you know, I was away, but um, I don't know if just the visual of all these donuts made them more attractive last year. There certainly sounds like there were more people there this year than last year. But the other question I had was, did we order more donuts this year? And maybe that's why we had extra. Same number. Okay, I
Same
wasn't
number,
sure.
exact same number. I'm just going to, let me just take a look at, let me just try one second.
We also
Emma,
we also had hot dogs left over. Just in general, people didn't seem to eat as much. I mean, we did go through the cider, except to say that we ended up with some, they mix apple juice and cider together. We ended up with 3 or 4 big buckets of apple juice left over that people didn't. And I don't know whether we've had that before. And I don't know, Dave, how did the marshmallows go?
We used all of the marshmallows that we originally planned on bringing.
Okay.
And I say that because we bought 2 regular or fairly large bags, and that's basically what we used. But for some reason, I forget what it was, we had a 3rd bag, a very big bag, which we hadn't originally planned on using, and we didn't open it. We just kept it sealed.
Right.
And at the very end, 1 or 2 people came and said, "Are there not any marshmallows left?" And I said, "No, sorry, there aren't," because I didn't want to open the big bag and only use 2 of them.
No, fair enough. They go stale. Sure.
I had a comment about the hot dogs. There was a mismatch between the size of the wiener and the size of the bun. The wiener was a good size. It was like about 8 inches long,
Yeah.
but the bun was a full foot long. So that when you put the wiener in it, there was like 2 inches of bare bun hanging out at both ends. And so when you bit into it, you were just biting a bun with no wiener in it. And I think, like I had one, and I found that experience was not all that satisfying, let's say. And I think
All right.
maybe other people found the same thing.
And they were too big.
well,
Yeah,
unfortunately, yeah,
better to
try,
have a big bun, big wiener and a small bun. That's the deal.
I'll
Ratio
just
is
comment
important.
on that. Unfortunately, try as we may to get 8-inch size hot dog buns, it's almost impossible, 8 or 9-inch. Like you either have to buy foot-long hot dog buns or you buy the regular size hot dog buns. And honestly, I think next year my suggestion would be that we don't buy foot-long hot dog buns. They cost us twice as much money as the regular ones. And to be honest with you, I don't see any problem with, so what if a bit of a wiener hangs out at the end of each end of the bun? That would be my kind of 2 cents on that one. But it wasn't through lack of trying to try and get the right size hot dog bun. Let me tell you, it was not through lack of trying.
Okay, Sally?
I think that the hot dogs were too big for a lot of children because it was like they were massive. They were big for an adult like Dave. So I think maybe some of the parents weren't buying them. They might have ripped them in half and given each of their, if they had 2 kids, given them each a piece, but they were really big. And that's a lot, and then too much bread.
Well, it's interesting because last year, the same hot dogs we bought last year, and people loved them. So it's hard to judge. And plus, if they're paying $5 for a hot dog, like I worked out the cost. Our cost per hot dog were approximately $3. So we should have made about $2 in every hot dog sold.
What were the financials like this year compared to last year?
Well, I'm just actually good question. So I'm looking at last year's financials, and one thing we didn't have in here, Emma, I'm just noticing is so we didn't have staff time in here
When? Last year or this year?
last year, but this year, when I compare everything, we brought in a total revenue. first of all, we had council budget of $5,500 for this event. Our popcorn sales were $113. The snowflake draw brought in $1,792. Our lunch counter brought in $727, and our toonie table brought in $349, which is only $349. It is $16 less than what we brought in last year. So basically the same as what we brought in last year on the toonie table. So we brought in approximately $8,500 for the event, and our expenditures this year, including staff time, were $6,800. So we were looking at we were $1,600 and change to the good. So we didn't go over budget at all.
Excellent.
Good. I have this weird suggestion, but for me, like being in kitchen, I found do we have any used cash register, smaller one or something like that? So, it's become faster, because normally when people brings $20 and $50 and $100, and then, like constantly, like people keep coming, and to calculate everything with a head count, it's impossible. So I opened my calculator, my phone calculator, and I used to do calculation based on through my phone. But if we have a cash register, so it's we have accurate everything properly. We have
I don't think we could get a cash register, Rupal, to buy a cash register. I can certainly provide one of the town calculators, the larger calculators.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
Helps. Yeah, that helps. Yeah.
The kitchen is a tough job.
Yeah.
How much waste was there at the end, Kim?
Well, I don't know if we'd call it waste. There were some definitely hot dogs left over, and that's because when the weather forecast was as wonderful as what it was, instincts told me that we were going to have, or I felt that we were going to have a real influx of people, and I did not want to run out of food. Absolutely did not want to run out of food. So went out and bought more hot dogs, made brought the inventory up. So that was where as it turned out, we did sell what we originally thought we would sell, maybe one package less than what we thought, and all the extra stuff is extra. So we've got hot dogs for whatever function we want to have hot dogs for.
We could maybe do hot dogs at our music in the park. We could maybe have a little hot dog stand going, just with a few
Not
hot
a bad idea. It's coming. That is on the agenda.
It's hot dog and ice cream. Hot dog and ice cream.
So let's bring
So
that up.
we'll use them again, right? We've kept them. It's not like they were.
Oh yeah, they're all kept.
Waste is a strong word. Leftovers.
No, I was more referring to the towers of cookies that I saw at the end, and the donuts. There looked to be a lot.
I think
there were quite a few cookies left over. I don't know how many. I don't think there were a whole lot of donuts. Do you remember a lot of donuts, Emma?
I don't remember a lot of donuts, and the cookies were froze, so we could use them for future events. So none of that went to waste.
In the kitchen.
Even I noticed when I was in there, samosas, people weren't buying that much. That last year it was so hit, and this time I saw people wasn't buying much for samosas.
No.
They're outside busy on the snowshoes. That's a good thing.
Well, that's it. I think that there was a whole lot of people outside. And also the whole veggie dog thing. We buy. I mean, if there's a vote for it, it's just kind of. I know diversity or inclusion and everything, but you know what? We buy them and people don't eat them. What do we sell? One of them maybe, and then we tried
one. Yeah, we
and
sold
we,
one
we
veggie
all
dog.
tried them because the OPP, they're nicely barbecuing everything. So they barbecued a plate of the veggie ones, and so we gave them a go afterwards. It's like, yuck, it was no wonder people, no. So
Yeah,
I would move that we don't bother with those again.
yeah. We
Sorry,
had
don't
bought
bother.
48
Don't
veggie
bother with
dogs.
what, Melinda? Don't bother with the samosas.
No, with the veggie dogs. If you're going to have
Oh,
a samosa, then that's your vegetarian option for somebody,
okay.
and also the whole gluten-free bun thing and everything too. If you're going to have well, no, maybe not. I don't know. How did what happened with the gluten-free buns? They're
They
in the
didn't get eaten.
freezer, right? Yeah, they didn't get eaten. Yes.
I mean, I should say we could buy one package instead of the 48 gluten-free buns that we had.
And I would say, I mean, I'm a huge samosa fan. The samosas we're buying right now are the very small ones, and the filling is kind of all mixed together, so you don't get that pea and potato. It's all kind of one. I think the larger ones taste 10 times better than the smaller ones.
Yeah, we can try. We can explore some other. I got what you were saying. Yeah, we can explore some new type of samosas.
Because when we sell them, you get a couple on the plate with the dipping sauce, right? So you could just give a big one.
Yeah.
The big one is more crispy, and the potatoes and peas separate. Sometimes people doesn't like that, but sometimes people prefer all together. So we'll discuss next time. Yeah.
Yeah, so the food, but the snowflake draw was terrific. Everybody, that same family that comes and buys all the tickets, it's remarkable. Just call their name every year, and they're just as pleased with getting the same prize each year too, right? But it's a big success. And we had Mike, didn't you get something? You got some tickets, right? Was it you that got the tickets? No,
I didn't win anything.
You didn't win anything? Who was it that won the sports team tickets? He was all excited. Do you remember, Kim or Emma, who that was?
That was the one gentleman who won, or the lady that won. She was one of our you know who won one of the sports team's ticket was the wife of a band member. So
Is that right? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So the band, had come out to play, and his wife came to listen, and she bought tickets, and lo and behold, she won one of the sporting event tickets. So that was great. Just so everyone knows, last year the snowflake draw brought in $1,603, and this year brought in $1,792.
Yay!
So we made more money on the snowflake draw this year.
Yeah, I found that with the weather, it just people's movement, it worked a lot better this year because it wasn't so cold. In previous years, it was so cold, everyone just jammed inside and you couldn't move. Whereas this year, there was a lot of indoor, outdoor, a lot of moving around, trying everything. So it really worked out well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Any challenges with parking? Did anyone hear any challenges with parking?
Yes.
There were some, yeah. I mean, they
Okay.
parked along the side of the road south of the community center, and a few people pulled over a little too far from the road surface and got stuck.
Oh,
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 vehicles had to be assisted to get out because they'd pulled over a little too far. Because when the snow plows plow the snowbank back, they leave a little level surface at the edge of the road, which appears to be solid ground, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's quite soft snow. And so people drive over onto that, and then the wheel goes down and they can't get out. So I think I heard that 3 or 4 people had to be helped out, but I think they all did get out.
Oh, good.
Well, they're not there now anyway.
Yeah, it was a friendly neighbor, I think, because I didn't see tow trucks. I just saw a guy with a truck and a chain helping them all out. So there were definitely a couple people in ditches.
Oh, wow.
So maybe it would be a good idea when we review this next year to make a note that there should be some cones placed on that area that looks flat but isn't flat, so people don't pull over quite so
I'm
far.
not going to eat. I'll go to the bathroom. What do you want, Ginger?
Sounds good.
The town has cones, don't they, Kim?
Yeah, but they were all in use. There wasn't a cone to be had this year. Like, I mean, other than the
Well,
ones that we were using, there were no extras. Even like we absconded with all of Public Works' cones as well.
so I wonder that you can buy small ones very inexpensively at the dollar store. If that would be helpful, I just think when I think about people that go in the ditch, it would be a productive way to spend a few dollars, and they can be kept from year to year.
Yep.
Yeah, we could certainly buy some driveway sticks or flags for sure.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else for Winterfest, Kim?
That's about it for me. Emma, did you have anything?
Nope, you covered everything.
Okay.
Okay. Valentine's Euchre, spring Euchre final planning, which is March 21st, which is a few days from now.
Mm-hmm. So hopefully, I don't see any reason why not, but we will be moving forward with what we're referring to now as spring euchre. We missed the Valentine's opportunity to call it Valentine's euchre. So just Wayne and Irina, just so you know, our euchre was planned for February 14th. We thought it'd be a great day because Valentine's was on a Friday this year. As it turned out, we had a very low registration number. It turns out people didn't want to come and play euchre on Valentine's Day. So we rescheduled it for 2 weeks later to February the 28th. And that happened to be a very bad weather day where we weren't comfortable with having people come out and play euchre with the possibility of ice accumulating on the roads while we were inside playing euchre. So we didn't go with that date, and now the makeup date for that one is this Friday, March 21st. And I think Em and I were talking today, and I think our registration is at 37. Is that
38. We got one right before I left work.
Oh, did you? Okay. There
Wayne,
she
did
is.
you have a question about Euchre?
Yeah, just because we talked a little bit about the draw from Winterfest, and it's a big number. I'm assuming typically Euchre doesn't draw that kind of numbers, but what is typical?
We had anywhere from, I think our max, we maxed it at 60, but we're normally around the 40, 48 level. I think we've never had less than 36 people. So we're right around there, but we have maxed it out at 60 before, where we had to shut registration off because we didn't have enough tables.
And is this a legacy program too? Like, how long has that been running, the Euchre tournament?
3 years, I'll say. We do
Okay.
2 a year.
Yeah.
Is that right? 3 or
So
4
it's more,
years?
it's
I
more
think
recent.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we do
we
one in the
started
summer,
off-
one in the spring, or
Yeah.
February, Winterfest, or sorry, Valentine's Day, and then we call it Harvest Euchre. So it either takes place in October or November.
Yeah, we started out with just one. I believe it was in the, when was it? In the first one was in
When I was
the,
first, we used to only do Valentine's Day, and then
yeah.
started back in with Harvest, and now we've done both.
Yeah, we had the request to do 2 by the number of people that were attending, saying, well, we'd come to 2 of these. So the format of it is we get together at 6:30, and for the first half hour, it's just mingle and get ready. And then, and we have, it's actually very, very reasonable. I think, what's a ticket? $20 or $25, Emma? 20?
25, and that comes with a drink.
Yeah, so $25 gets you a drink ticket, and it can be beer, wine, or non-alcoholic. We have all choices for people, and it also includes munchies. So we always have wraps, and I don't know, Emma does a really good job in getting quite an array of nibbles for people to munch on during the evening. And we take $5 right off the top of every registration as prize money. So first, second, and third place, and most honest player receives a prize at the end of the evening so we take all of the money that we collected and divide it up between first, second, and third place and most honest player.
Was it a progressive game? Then you move tables? Is that how you do it?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, we move tables. Yeah.
we do move tables. Yeah.
You move around. You move around.
We
The
move
winners
around.
move and the
around.
losers stay at the table.
Okay, that's progressive. Yeah, that's progressive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we do that. We do that.
And so if you come
And
as a
then-
couple, is that $50?
It is.
Seems high.
It is.
I know I'm new, but it just seems like a lot. No?
I don't know. What, really? Do you think so? I guess I don't know. Oh yes, I guess. Well, you're the guy who's if you have a family of 6 and you're the guy who has to pay. You're right, but for individual people, I thought it was a good price, and it ends up also. It's in keeping with the neighborhood games too, isn't it? Price wise, that don't necessarily have a prize, money prize, right? Like everybody walks out with those 4 people that get some money are all beaming with how much money they get.
I mean, we could certainly cut back, Wayne, if you think that might be a reason why.
No, I don't have experience with it, but when you said $25, it felt like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's nice that you were giving a drink and some munchies, so that's awesome. $50 sounds like a lot for a couple to go play euchre.
Okay. Do you
But you're
play
getting
euchre?
the turnout, so
We are
yeah.
we're looking for people to play on Friday, because obviously we have to have a multiple of 4 for it all to work out well. So we've been very fortunate each time we somehow manage to get multiples of 4. Whether it means we
Play?
yeah.
Do you play, Wayne?
Yeah, so actually that's why I was looking at my phone to see if I could actually make it, and I have to pick up my son that day or I would be there. We love euchre.
Oh.
There you go. There you go.
Love to do it.
Irina, do you play euchre?
I don't, but I was looking into how to play it. So I have a question. So for this event, does anybody from here is organizing it and doing stuff there, or like how does it work? And can I help out with it too, or can I just join as an event?
No, I mean, we're always looking for volunteers. Pretty much Emma and myself look after the organization of it, getting it all ready. Purchasing the alcohol, purchasing the goodies. One of our recreation staff, she sets the room up for us the day of, so that we pretty much walk in and everything is set up. She decorates. Very, very fortunate that way. And then Emma is there with her laptop, and she does all the tabulating of everybody's scores. And Melinda, who's not going to be there this week, I just thought of that, has always been our MC. So, yeah. So we need a new MC.
You could jump in and do that. And then we've always had also for these events, we've got our smart servers, Dave and Sally, manning the bar and playing. Are you guys not there? You're muted, Sally. Are you guys not there?
Dave will go. I can't go on Friday. I'm busy.
Oh, bummer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dave,
What
do
are
you
the
have your
current
smart serve?
numbers? How are they looking for numbers right now?
Dave doesn't have a smart serve.
I do not.
Does not? Okay. Okay.
What are the hours? What are the hours for at the event?
Um,
Looks like I might be playing in order to make up the number to a multiple of 4.
you might, yeah, I think you will be. So will I be. Sorry, we started, or so we start arriving at 6:30. We start playing sharp at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
We play 10 hands. 10 hands? 10 hands. 8 hands.
I think
10
so.
hands. 10 hands.
Games.
10 games.
10
Yes,
games,
10
okay.
games. And we have it all timed, so we actually have a timer as well. So we know exactly how many minutes each game can take. And then we finish by 9:30, and then we wrap up, and Emma does all the tabulating, and we announce the prize winners. And pretty much once everyone has seen who wins the prizes, then everybody's gone by 10 o'clock. Like,
Yeah.
but we keep a running scoreboard of like Emma keeps it up on screen through her laptop as to who's standing in first, second, and third place. So
Oh,
you can, yeah, you can see, where you are out of the number of people playing.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great. So my question is, did you need any help for this event? If not, then it's okay. I maybe just come by just to see how it is. But yeah, just let me know.
Okay, well, I mean, we'd be more than happy to have you there because obviously Melinda can't make it. Sally's not going to be there. So yeah, Mike, are
I,
you coming?
I'm out of town Friday and Saturday, unfortunately.
yeah,
Anne, are you going to be there?
I'm also busy, so I won't be able to.
I'm committed on Friday night.
That's the
Okay.
problem when you have a changing date, right? That's that is.
Yeah.
So yes, Irina, yes, come and
Yes,
it's at
please. So
Menorah
there'll
Park.
be,
It's at Menorah Park.
It's like,
yes.
take me.
So that, I mean,
Yeah, for sure. If I'll probably find out all the details about it, and then I'll come. I'll try to get more people to come too, if anything.
well, if they're coming to play, they do need to pre-register.
Okay. So what's the
that
cutoff
we-
for registration?
Pardon me?
What is the cutoff for the registration?
I think Emma keeps it up until what?
Much Friday
Thursday?
evening. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as I
Okay,
get the
so that's
information
not a
by
problem
Friday
then.
evening, we're good.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, so just have them go on the website and they can register, and then but Irina, you won't need to, you can just show up and we'll put you to work.
Okay, great.
Okay, we'll put you to work. So it looks like it'll be myself, Emma, Dave, and Irina. Is that right?
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Okay.
Yeah, it's usually quite a competitive night of card playing. They take it very seriously, so it's
Oh,
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I
I was
always
battle
wanted,
into playing there.
I always wanted to see how it is, and I've never been to this euchre, and I don't know how to play, but unfortunately, I won't be able to make it to this Friday.
Okay.
Well, hopefully next year.
Harvest. October, November. We haven't decided yet on that, right?
So probably what we'll be doing is Emma will be manning the bar, and
And
I'm just thinking, I don't know. She tells me she can do both the bar and the calculating, but
I had my smart serve way like 10 years ago, so I'm not sure if it's still okay.
Yeah, it doesn't expire. You're good.
No, it
Okay,
expires
great.
now.
yes, it does.
It expires
Oh,
now.
it does?
Oh, it does.
Yes, it does.
It expires. It's only good for like 4 years.
Oh, what a money
So
grab.
You
it
actually
needs
have to have the card with you with the date, because if an inspector came in, you might be in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, no, that's okay then. I'll look
We'll
into it.
talk about it tomorrow, Kim. We'll figure something out.
Okay.
Oh, Emma, do
good.
you have your smart serve?
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah,
Okay, well then you're good.
we're all good.
Dave
Can
can help
we,
the bar.
Yes. Oh, he will be.
Yeah.
If he's not playing. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, when I send out the calendar of all of our meeting and special event dates, just kind of it'd be great if you would put them in your own day timers so that you're aware that there are things going on with the town of Mono, and
Moving.
it'd be great as committee members if you could attend. That would be very, very much helpful.
Okay.
okay, Make Mono Shine update.
So we've gone ahead with the plans for Make Mono Shine as we had discussed in previous meetings. This year, the actual on-site event is not going to be taking place because of the lack of attendance that we experienced over the last 2 years. The first year was great, and then the last 2 years, the attendance has been falling off quite dramatically. So what we chose to do this year instead is for the week before and the week after April 22nd, which is I always want to call it Environment Day. It's Earth Day. Earth Day. We are offering to the residents of Mono the opportunity to help us make Mono shine by heading out to parks, trails, pathways, and just help us clean up Mono. We are going to be offering, you can come into the office and pick up garbage bags, plastic gloves to pick up. Plus we have had the stickers made. They arrived yesterday or today, Emma.
Oh, good.
So we have Make Mono Shine stickers to go on your garbage so that it doesn't cost people anything to put them out. They can come in and we'll give each household will get a maximum of 3 because we didn't want this turning into, well, I'll clean out my garage day and get all of Make Mono Shine stickers for it. So we're giving everyone a maximum of 3, whoever wants them. And then what we do is we keep track of how many we give out, and then we will be paying GFL directly from our Make Mono Shine budget for the tags that people come and pick up. And then GFL will pick up those bags in addition to people's regular bags on their garbage days. So hopefully we get a big uptake on it. I know Emma's got a campaign upcoming on social media to get the word out about it. She plans all of this stuff well in advance, and I know she's got that scheduled because she told me about that today.
I have a question. When will the bags and stickers first become available for people to pick up?
Well, the program doesn't start till April 15th, so probably the week before.
And then what is the latest you will allow them to be picked up?
So the program is over, it goes
April 29th.
April 15th, April 22nd, April 29th. So they can pick them up anywhere between April 15th and April 29th, or April 8th and April 29th.
April 8th and April 29th. Okay. Thanks, Kim.
You bet.
And then, just a follow-up question. And when do they need to be in the garbage by to be picked up? Is there several weeks that they can be collected?
No, they should be out within that 2-week time frame. You pick it up, you put it out. Then, like if you pick it up on Sunday and your garbage is on Monday, you put it out on Monday.
Is it all?
Okay, so the reason I'm asking is that people might be picking up garbage right, if it's for a week after the 22nd, right? They could be picking up their stickers on the 29th. Then they have to pick up garbage. And they might not be able to put it out until like depending on when their pickup is, May 5th or 6th or 7th.
And that's fine. What I'm saying is we won't probably extend the program to July. I mean, we'll
Okay,
be
so it doesn't have to
GFL
be,
doesn't care when they pick them up, in
so
other
it
words,
could
right?
go, okay, that, which is just wanted to clarify. Like, we're gonna be away, but I'd like to do
It's good for
something,
that,
but I
you
won't
know.
be able to pick up garbage until the 29th. And I think I'd like some time, but it's not just me. Other people might be in the same position.
Yeah.
And so they need to know that they will be able to put them out, the bags of garbage with the sticker in early May.
Yeah.
And I know I brought it up before, but I'd like to bring it up again and just try to figure out what the best course of action is. I know a lot of the garbage that we're picking up is garbage that the wind has blown out of our blue boxes in the first place. So how would we go about investigating one of these lid programs where there would be advertising on our lids, so it would be a sponsored program, so that all this garbage wouldn't be flying out of our blue boxes that we have to later pick up?
So the Blue Box program is run by the county, or now by GFL. And I did send an email to the county in that regard, and they didn't believe that unless you want one of those great big blue boxes with, I think they're blue bins, to buy lids for blue boxes is not financially feasible. I don't even know if they make them, to be honest with you. I'm just going to see if I can get my response brought up here from the county. Oops.
Oh, they definitely make them, because other towns have done pilot projects. It would just be a matter of, I know the town's not going to pay for it, so we'd have to go out and find a sponsor who would advertise on these lids to pay for the program.
Isn't everybody, I know out here in the rural setting, everybody's got a different kind of thing going on for their garbage bins and stuff. In contrast to the city where, everybody gets distributed the uniform bin because there's a machine that picks it up and whatever. And we don't have that in Dufferin. So I don't know how you would, it's not uniform, is it?
It is uniform. GFL won't pick up something if it's not in the blue box as recycling.
But or if it's in a blue bag, if it's in a blue plastic bag, they pick it up, right?
But it's not anything. You can't put a cardboard box out with recycling in it. They'll just put it in the garbage.
Oh, okay. Good to know. But yeah, so with respect to,
it's a great idea though, Mike, because we live in the country and we do pick up half our own stuff on the couple of weeks a year that we do that. You're always running around after your blue box.
Oh, I recognize this. Oops, that's mine.
Who's throwing stuff on my roadway? Me.
Is this worth pursuing though, Melinda?
Well, that's it. I don't know. I mean, through Dufferin County, I suppose it is, because it isn't. Where did you go? You moved over. It isn't a municipal service, right? Once the county took it over, then it's out of our hands. So I don't know. I mean, you live in one of the subdivisions, right? And so you would have stuff blowing on your front by three people around you, right? On a windy day, it's everybody's stuff gets mixed up. Does everybody put out similar sizes of bins?
Yeah, they're all uniform, and then it's so windy here that it all goes down to Island Lake, and it just looks horrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's it's something that other towns have done, or other counties have done. So I would just, hope that we could at least give an effort to try to, prevent the garbage from becoming garbage in the first place.
No, I agree. So for our rural setting, I don't know that it's feasible. Like, but just when I drive around looking, everybody's got different things put out. But you're right. If you've all got uniform bins there lined up beside each other on the curb, then that does it would be something. But it would be for the county, no?
I think this is an important topic,
It has nothing to do with it.
but I don't think it's the business of this committee to solve this problem.
That's right.
It belongs to somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I was just looking for a bit of direction to see where I should go with this.
And Kim, did you read to us where you were looking up the guys were still, or you can't find it yet?
I'm just trying to find it here. Okay. Who did it go to?
Yeah,
Can I ask a question while Kim's looking that up?
Yes.
different waste, different waste.
Because I haven't noticed it before. So Emma's doing was it a social media post, a campaign, or is it something we're just posting on our website? Like, what's the objective of the social media that she's doing?
That's who's dropped off. Emma, what the heck?
She had to go to curling playoffs.
Oh, was that what she said in the chat? Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
The social media that she does is our own social media, and then that gets picked up and put on the couple of Facebook things. But we have our
Mono
own
Facebook community.
Mono, yeah,
Okay,
not the
that's good.
community one. We actually have a Mono page, right? Like for a business
We have an actual recreation page.
page.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You
her
say
stuff
page,
goes
page where? Sorry.
on Facebook.
Facebook.
And of
And-
course on our website, right? I mean, she posts everything.
Instagram. And Instagram.
Instagram too. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we
Right.
share it with the community groups? Like, if the objective is to maximize exposure to the fact that we're doing it, could we not post it on the other community groups, which I know are super active?
They're super active. And so, yes, they do get posted there. The new Mono and the Mono
Awesome.
community ones. Yeah, they do get posted there. They get buried in the political junk.
Yeah. Maybe ours will be the only thing worth reading on it then.
Is her name? Anyways, I will find this because
Because that would give you the guy to follow up with, Mike.
Okay, sounds good to me.
well, I can tell you the person to follow up, the lady that looks after recycling and garbage is Melissa Kovacs Reed at the county.
Okay.
And when I initially did this, Melissa was away. So my contact was Chris Fast, but Chris was make sure you speak with Melissa when she gets back. But I'm trying to find the original email that went out.
Mike,
to the
when you're
county.
finished talking to them, you should contact Restaurants International, because every second thing I pick up is a Tim Hortons cup. So they need to chip in somehow.
Yeah, I was kind of figuring of McDonald's and Tim Hortons should be footing the bill for this program.
Exactly.
They're terrible
be nice.
customers.
That would
And
be-
the amount, when we pick up the stuff, the amount of booze cans and stuff, that's the other thing that's shocking.
Those are the two most common things, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Beer cans and coffee cups.
Okay, new business. Mono Melodies, how can we expand this event?
Yeah, putting that out there for you guys. So Mono Melodies for Irina and Wayne is a relatively new special event. We wanted to do something in the summertime for our residents, and so what we came up with was the idea to offer an opportunity to any aspiring musicians that live in the area. They don't necessarily have to live in Mono, but live in the area. And we asked them to send in a audition tape to our committee, and we listened to the tape, and then contact them if they've been successful in making the Make Mono Shine stage, or not Make Mono, the Mono Melody stage. So this is the third summer we'll be doing it. We first year it was great. We had, I think, probably 6 or 8 acts. I think 6 acts. Some of them played anywhere from like a half an hour. Others played for 15 minutes. So, yeah, and we had actually a band come out of that called Twisted Covers, and people really loved their music so much so that that's the band that we've hired for Winterfest for the past 2 years. Yeah, so good news story there, and that's basically the crux of it. We asked people to send us in an audition tape, whether they play guitar and sing, or they want to play violin or whatever, some type of musician. And we came up with the name Mono Melodies, and it's a Sunday afternoon in the park from 2 to 4. We invite people to come, bring their picnics. We do it at Menorah Park, where the gazebo is. We invite people to come and bring their picnic baskets or whatever, and just sit and listen to some music.
Oh,
Now, yeah, the past 2 years, not overly well attended, maybe 40 people are in attendance, So trying to come up with some ideas, how to make this more, what incentives other than the music, or do we just, keep plugging away at it just being music and keeping with the same format of, just come, bring your picnic, and you can come and sit at the park for 2 hours in the afternoon. Oh, and last year, I unfortunately I didn't make it last year, but because of the weather, it got moved inside. So,
do we know who's coming? Is it Mono residents or is it friends of the people who are playing?
I think it's friends of the people who are playing.
Mom and dad, because we have a few teenagers come out, and yeah, but for the whole principle of the idea of just put yourself out there, and this is for real amateurs. That's who they want to see, and if they see somebody else's mom that they didn't know, that's fine. They're in the audience, right? And last year when the weather, it was one of those torrential rainstorms. And so we were inside and had set up the chairs in a regular kind of a concert hallway, and it was terrific. Versus in the park, so it looked like there were a lot more people. In the park setting the year before, everybody was very, very spread out in the park. We weren't close together. So for the performers, it might have looked a lot more sparse the first year than the second year, but we had similar turnouts. But yeah, if we offered some food and if we did more advertising earlier on, hammering for longer, right? I mean, we've to put up posters places. I noticed when I was in town hall yesterday, there's a poster up that the fire department is hiring for volunteers, and I noticed it because wow, you never don't see a poster there. So if we we've got a big colorful poster and put it up at the Tipsy Fox in Shelburne and the Black whatever it is in Orangeville and stuff, where they have those community boards, we might get more people knowing about
Irina,
it.
do you have a comment?
Yeah, I have a question. Have you ever advertised an Orangeville banner?
We used to, and just strictly because of cost, we've backed away and gone more on the social media, the digital marketing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
what if we make it into a story or something like that? I think they don't really charge for an advertising if they make a story.
That's true. That's
You're
true.
right.
You're absolutely right.
So maybe we could make something into a story, like looking for aspiring musicians and spin it that way a little bit if somebody's into writing, because I'm not.
Yeah, how do those journalists that they're the same
Right.
ones that come, how do they get the news, Kim? Do you ever call them for things like when we had our opening of the tennis court and stuff? You call them and have them come and take a picture?
Yep.
Have
I
you ever
call them.
called them? Have you ever called them and given them a story idea?
Sometimes they
I
run it,
write.
sometimes they don't. I'll be like I've called them about Winterfest and given them, and sometimes it gets run, sometimes it doesn't. Depends on.
The Citizen has been very good to the tennis club in the past. Anytime we've ever reached out, they've published what we've sent them.
Citizen?
Yeah.
Which one is that?
Orangeville Citizen, right?
Yep.
Because the banner's not in paper anymore, right?
No, it's only virtual.
How many Mono
Citizen
residents do
does
you think
produce
this?
a print copy.
Yeah.
Are you
And the
guys?
Citizen
Everyone's still
also
getting this?
covers like town council events. They have a reporter at every meeting, and they write usually a story about it. And I found that their coverage was pretty good. It was balanced and fair.
They've been covering Mono a lot. They
Yeah,
watched the virtual meeting.
they almost cover Mono as much as they do Orangeville. It's remarkable.
I'm wondering whether our event name is right. Maybe it's not conveying the right story. Maybe we need something like Music in the Park, or I don't know, but maybe Mono Melodies isn't speaking to people or telling them what they need to know.
I agree with you, Dave.
Or maybe we can actually put out a story of looking for a name for an event, and people to reach out and submit their names.
It could just be music at Menorah or music at Menorah.
Yep, maybe.
Yeah, that certainly solves a few problems with people having to worry about where it is and planning it. So I don't mind that at all. Menorah Music Fest or something like that.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's really something big.
Something to aspire to.
As long as we deliver.
Menorah Music Fest. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that one.
And do we offer food there for that event or no?
No, we never have. We never have. We've tried to keep it as simple as possible.
We've just got all those hot dogs, and summertime afternoon on a hot dog just does sound good as an
Doesn't
opportunity
it?
to get rid of it as opposed to euchre. They're not going to go at the euchre game.
Yeah, if parents promise hot dogs and ice cream to their kids may well jump in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. RuPaul, we talked about that, didn't we? About having the ice cream, getting in touch with an ice cream truck and having them swing by. Right? Didn't we?
Yeah, we
We
did.
did.
We did, yeah.
We can investigate. I know Emma's got the contact for an ice cream truck that she uses for the soccer program.
Yeah, and I think she said that he's very, very amenable to moving around. So that would be a good idea. Have him
And
drive.
it is also Meet the Teacher night tomorrow at OD, and there's a fabulous music teacher there. So I will talk to him and see if he has any ideas from, perhaps he has a few really wonderful students that might want to be involved as well.
Be awesome.
Last year's students were the first year students were, teenage angst and writing their own stuff, and it was a flavor that was awesome. But last year's was a couple of very talented kids from the high school, which I'm assuming it's that high school, but as separate acts.
And just Wayne and Irina, just so you know, we we don't offer any monetary payment for coming and playing. This is this is more an opportunity for people to be heard as opposed to make any money.
Yeah, no, that's
I
fine.
don't know what you guys gave out last year. I know the year before we gave everyone a plant.
Same. Give
Okay.
plums. But
Wayne,
flowers around the, pardon me, Mike, put the flowers
Yep.
around the stage and then gave them to each of the acts when they were done.
I think Wayne, do you have a comment?
Yeah, just maybe an idea, and maybe it depends on how committed we are to making, like, now that we've brought up the idea of Mono Music Fest, maybe we're thinking this could be something a bit bigger one day, something we're building towards. Would we consider getting one maybe slightly established act that's already out there to be a draw that you build around, so you don't, yes, you have a established amateur act with a bunch of new ones, it would draw a bigger crowd. Mike, I'm thinking of building on your idea that Orangeville music teacher you're referring to probably is the same one that has their own local band. They're great. Their rates aren't that bad. It might be an interesting anchor to build it around anyway.
That's not a bad idea. What does everyone think about that?
Yeah.
I like it because if you're going to call something Music Fest, you got to bring something to the
Apparently a
table.
big guys. Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
With Music Fest. Yeah, because I don't want it to be, oh wow, this is Mono's what do you call it? You know how Orangeville
Mono's
has the
Got
big
Talent?
jazz.
Yeah.
And oh wow, Mono's gonna have a big music fest, and they're like, oh no, not quite.
And the good thing about having an established act is they're usually very good at marketing, and they put out the word to their followers to come see them.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, actually.
So we did, Kim mentioned the Twisted covers. They showed up at the first Mono Melodies and were awesome. They were exactly like you say. They are a band of 6 or 7 seasoned musicians who have recently come together to be a new band, but they're all, gray-haired, well-established, good musicians. And so we invited them back. They were a hit, and we had some of the teenagers, and there was a couple of people who'd been taking guitar lessons, and it was a nice afternoon. So we invited them back this following year, but they're all just, it's a part-time retirement gig they're doing, and some of them are working, whatever. And so there was only the main fellow, Jeff, was available. Everybody else was on holidays in August that year. So he's been teaching some people. And so he he ended up, and then there was somebody he knew. And anyway, half of the lineup was from this fellow Jeff's, as you say, advertising or his word of mouth, getting people to come out. So, and I know speaking to him at Winterfest, he's keen, and but I commented again how these people are potentially on holiday or whatever. So, if we ended up with somebody new, that would be terrific. But I do think, which I think would be great, but I do think we also have him in our pocket as well. So it could be a real festival. It could be really big.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, I bring this up for a lot of other events, but we're going to have to perhaps talk about a sponsor if we're going to pay somebody.
Yeah, which I think is, goes into the whole thing about Mono. We don't have a sponsorship policy right now, which is getting one established.
Yes, Irina.
So sorry, I just have a question. So do you usually have sponsors for your events, or you haven't done anything like that before?
No, the town does not have a sponsorship policy.
Okay.
So before you get into something where you're agreeing to put somebody's name on something that is attached to the town of Mono, you do need to have a policy for that. That is vetted through council and approved by council. So that's why we haven't gone the sponsorship route.
But I think it's long overdue that that's taken care of, because we don't want the town footing the bill. So I mean, we've talked about this so many times. What is the holdup for the town having this conversation?
Mike,
Do you want me?
don't you watch our council meetings? We've got all these things. We've got something new every month. We give the staff something new to do. And so our unfinished business list gets longer and longer. And so the stuff just gets pushed down because of the whole priority thing, right? So, I mean, it certainly is something that we could do. I could bring something to council, but it would have to be, well, as a motion well set out as to exactly what our real benefits are and what our risks and how we would be mitigating them. Because the last time this came up in any kind of council decision when I was sitting at the table, it was shot down pretty quickly that that this isn't something that we want to do. So we would have to have some really good arguments other than just we would like to have bigger festivals in the future. But you're right. I think it's a good idea. But you'd have to almost bring something really easy for staff to finish for us, or whatever work we did on it is just going to get buried on the unfinished list. And
yes, Wayne.
So what if we took a different approach then, as opposed to looking for sponsors, try and think of a way to make it cost neutral? So yes, we are going to spend something, but we hope we make enough back to be even. If you're, I don't have great ideas here, but if you're thinking about, going to the local music teachers out there to come up with some ideas for talent, they also have businesses. There's quite a few music teachers that have private businesses. You could ask them to take a table. They're promoting their wares a little bit, telling people, this is what I do. This is the service I offer. I've even brought one of my students here. So you charge them a very nominal fee. I wouldn't think this would cost a lot in the short term. If you're bringing a food truck in, that doesn't cost anything. The venue's probably free. There's probably some cost associated with sound. Is it a high cost event?
Oh,
You're bringing one good anchor act. Yes, that's going to cost you, but that's your big.
It is not a high cost event. The biggest cost we have, to be honest with you, is anything we use towards advertising for the event and buying the decorations, which are also used then as the thank you gifts. So
if we're not thinking the sponsorship route, then we just sell hot dogs and cold drinks to pay for the act. And I like Wayne's idea as well.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Also, if we are giving a new name of fest, so how about that henna tattoo people that, henna for the kids, they can just put the henna on the hand or tattoo or something, so that might attract more people because people like henna. So, but I don't know if it's commercial or just because it requires material to bring with her to put tattoo. So that cost her or person who set up as a tattoo stall. And for kids love it because I see in Kera Brem or Kera Saga, they always have a stall of like diversity. So they just put the henna tattoo just for symbolic, and kids love it.
But that person would have like a $10 fee at their table or something like that normally, or
normally, yeah, they do normally $5 a tattoo. So.
And then what would we charge them for having a table? Is that the plan? Is that what you're thinking, Rupal?
Yes, we can do it that way. We can charge, and then whatever she charge money, they have to. It's her, right?
Pardon me?
Whatever she charge, let's say she charged $5 a tattoo, then it's hers, right? Or do we? I don't know how. It depends how we
It would
we
probably
decide.
be, we charge them, normally we charge anywhere between $60 and $80 for like one of our tables at our Christmas bazaar. And I think, yeah, we charge based on the size of the table. So you pay for every foot of table that you want. So if you want 8
Oh,
feet, you pay $80 for your table. If you want a 6-foot table, you pay $60 for your table. And then whatever money you make is yours.
yeah, yeah, that sounds good. I mean, I can explore if everybody likes this idea, because when we say fest, we should have little more activities. And
I agree, Rupal, because I mean, a lot of the times kids get restless and they can only eat
yeah,
so many hot dogs. So having them be able to go to other stations
yeah,
is a good idea.
There's another guy. He was in Mono. I don't know if he's still there. There might be a couple of them. This could be a fun thing. It would draw people in. I don't know how the cost would work, but do you know there's the interactive drummers? So they bring 25 drum sets, like more like African drum sets, and they do a lot of really interesting things with young people and creating your own beats, and it could just be a really fun part of that music
yeah.
fest.
I have seen in Montreal. In Montreal, they have a place, and everybody dance with
Yeah,
the drum.
there's a guy in Mono who does it, and he
Yeah,
does it at some of the schools. I've lost his name, but anyway, there's just some interesting things you could build in that might be kind of cost
Mm,
neutral, but would make this kind of a neat thing.
okay.
Also,
Irina,
yes, also just to add to RuPaul's idea, we can also do the face painting for the kids. They love that.
That's what I was thinking. That might be a little bit more
yeah, yeah.
mainstream.
Yeah, I
Oh,
guess if we, sorry.
sorry. Face painting though, is that not normally something that's free? Whenever, yeah, whenever I've seen face painting, I don't know. It's been a long time, but Sally.
you're
Oh,
muted, Sally.
Oh, there. Okay, I run an event up at my cottage. It's called Community Night. We get about 600 or 800 people out. We have face painting, we have henna, we have all that stuff. The people, unless you pay them, they won't do it for free. So most of them charge $5 each, and they won't come out unless you have a big enough number. A lot of them will go to a bigger festival because most of them are for profit. They want to make money. So if
Yeah.
it's only 40 people, they won't come. Same with food trucks. You got to have a minimum or they won't come.
They're like 100.
Anyway, I got to go. I have a fire board meeting in 3 minutes with a different municipality. So I got to go. Bye.
Bye, Sally.
Sally.
That is the
Just to
conundrum
follow
here
up
is
on that,
we
the
can't
food truck is the
guarantee.
same thing. So I know that last year I was arranging for the food truck to come because we had a pickleball event the same day, just by coincidence. And I spoke to the one of the food trucks, and he needed to know how many people to expect before he would drive from wherever. So I know that Emma maybe has already connected with that person, but she's guaranteeing so many ice cream cones because it's coming for the whole soccer season. Lots of people.
Right.
So
Plus
that
we pay him.
is,
We
I have to agree
pay
with
him.
Sally. And so far as I recall, I was at both Mono Melodies and I counted 30 people when it was outdoors. And the next year when it was indoors, there were 60 people. So I don't know if that had something with it being indoors versus outdoors, or it was kind of a lousy day. And so people had nothing to do. So let's go. Can't play pickleball. So let's go and watch the show. I'm just making assumptions here. So I think to see these plans with, it's a bit of a vicious circle. We need to have something to draw the people, but if we don't have a critical number of people, we won't be able to draw. So I'm not sure where the balance is.
Oh, you're right, Ann. Other times that we've looked into food trucks for other events, that's exactly the response we've gotten is your event's not big enough. And they won't come. It's that simple. They won't come.
But
I've had a food
hopefully,
truck. Sorry.
hopefully the event name change maybe brings more people, I guess.
I
Like,
think that we were built, perhaps, I mean, yes, the weather was. I mean, I find it very disappointing that our town pickleball would schedule an event on the same date that we had our event, and it's not by coincidence. It's by not paying attention to the planning since we put our dates out at the beginning of the year. August 10th is the date that this is happening. But at any rate, I've had ice cream truck come, and an ice cream truck is a little bit different than the food truck. I've had the food truck come. He wanted money up front. I was having an event that I just, I paid and everybody got a free taco. And as far as they were concerned, and it didn't matter how many tacos there were. He and I had negotiated a price of $600, and he came and he stayed there for a couple of hours. The ice cream guy was much different, and this is in the city, but they just kind of roam around, and so they're happy to they get the now they're not even $2, they're, I don't know, $5 for an ice cream cone or whatever, right? So the ice cream truck might be a little easier, particularly if we have a relationship with them, than the food truck guy, who they have to prepare how many whatevers might I sell, right?
Yeah.
even they can start playing the music, the ice cream truck music. So probably that attract
Stereo
more
Wars.
people to, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a 3-minute drive for the ice cream guy, where the food truck business you're setting up for the day. Anne wanted to say something.
I just wanted to clarify that our event ended at noon and Mono Melodies started well past that. So I wanted to clarify that. Plus, we make lots of plans a year ahead as well. Thank you.
That's where we should, our calendars should be all shared, or we should bother to look to see. I guess they are published in all of our various meetings, so that we do kind of fill our calendar and don't double book our same residents.
So it looks like, if we're trying to wrap this up, I think we've got a lot of good ideas, and perhaps this year focus on hot dogs and ice cream until we build it to be a big enough thing to start thinking about food trucks.
Exactly.
Okay. I like your idea there, Mike. Yeah.
Okay, Melinda.
Mike, there's just 2 little things on the agenda that we haven't talked about in the new business, eh?
Okay, yeah, no, I mean, in wrapping up Mono Melodies, yoga program.
I'm just making some notes. Yoga program, the reason I put it on the agenda is we've been in the past enjoying a yoga program at Mono Center, basically in the fall and the winter months. We did not run it this year strictly because our instructor was not available. So, and it doesn't look like there is the interest on the part of that instructor to return to Mono. The way we work it, as far as financially, is we tell the instructor, I think people pay something like, I think they paid for like 6 classes, $60. So it was like $60, $10 a class to come, which is very, very cheap for a yoga class. And then we work it out with the instructor that with whatever, however much is made for the program. So in other words, if we have 12 people come at $60 each, that's $720. We split that with the instructor. So the instructor gets $360 for teaching 6 nights, and the town gets $360 for the administration portion of the event. As opposed to you know, paying the instructor $50, or actually, I think some yoga instructors are up to $70 an hour right now. And, you know, having them come out for an hour class, and then they normally like to get paid for 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after. So you pay them for an hour and a half. And then, you know, we only get 4 registrations for the program. So we found that this was a really fair way to offer the program. It kind of gave the instructor a little bit of, you know, onus to get the word out that you're instructing at Mono, and you see how many people, you know, would like to come and join up for your class. And it also got us, because the more people we got out, the better it was for Mono as well. So we haven't had any yoga instructors come forward to say they'd like to take us up on that kind of offer, but kind of putting it out there, if you know a yoga instructor that you think may be interested, or if you think this is something that we should pursue. I will tell you, since the program has not been offered, I have not had any calls to say, wow, I wish you had yoga again. So none of the participants have gotten in touch with me to say, oh, you know, how come we don't have, why don't we have yoga any longer? So
Sorry,
just
Kim.
throwing that out there, but I wanted to kind of let people know what's happening with yoga in Mono.
Is this like a yoga in the park? Is this outdoors in the sunshine?
No, this was a yoga program we ran once a week at Mono Center. An opportunity, like, because there's Mono Center is more rural, and there's lots of yoga programs in the town of Orangeville, and Menorah is more of in the urban part of our municipality. We chose to run it at Mono Center, and focusing on the rural residents to give them an opportunity to participate in yoga.
Okay.
So just kind of giving you an update as to where we're at, how the program was run. It was successful when we were running it. We always had a minimum number of people because, you know, we wanted to make it worth the yoga instructors' time and effort to come out and do it, and the town wanted it to be worth our effort to be administering the program as well. So it worked out fine. We certainly always met our numbers as far as the minimum that we had set, and but our yoga program seems to have disappeared without the instructor.
Wayne, you wanted to jump in?
Just a quick question about maybe a little bit, but the goal of it. I mean, it's always in our interest to help the community stay in shape, but is this something that you were doing weekly? Because things like yoga, you don't just do it once and then stop and then do it once again. So is it something you booked it for 6 sessions in a row?
Yes.
Or is it all spread out? Okay. You did it.
No, it'd be like a 6. So we'd go from like January 1st to, you know, February the 15th. And then we would probably start up again 1 week after that. So there'd be the interest that people would say, yeah, I want to come for another 6 weeks. And we also had the opportunity for people to do drop-in classes as well. You just had to sign up online to let us know you're going to be dropping in. The price to drop in was much more expensive than taking a than buying a pass, but that was, you know, to try and encourage people to buy the pass. Because you can't run a program based on drop-ins when you just don't know who's going to come.
Well, I think the answer, if you haven't had any of those people wondering where it is, then they've found it someplace else. But the concept of offering something, some sort of a fitness class, it does sound like a good thing. But it's almost like a segue into our senior superstars one. That that's maybe more where the clientele would be. I don't know. The uptake. Not that many yummy mummies in the rural setting that are.
Right? Well, I actually had someone approach me. I shouldn't, you know, and it was a staff member to run a Mummy and Me yoga class. So a yoga class where moms could come during the day with their infants or their children and do yoga while, you know, possibly the other kids were at school. That was a Town of Mono staff member that came to me and asked if that was a possibility. Anyways, I threw it in the hopper of ideas for maybe.
Well, like Melinda mentioned, it could have tie-ins with our senior superstar update. So I guess we'll just segue into that.
Senior superstars, Wayne and Irina, just to let you know what our idea about that was to try and create opportunities for seniors in Mono, to give them a chance to get together and participate in something that they're interested in. And so what we did was we put out an ad, and basically we said, if you're a senior and you've got a special interest or hobby that you would like to share with others, to give me a call. And the idea was, you know what, if you come and you run this program, then we'll give you free space to do it in. We're not going to charge you for use of Mono Center. And I mean, it had to be during non-prime time hours, obviously. And as long as you weren't planning on making money, like you weren't going to charge people to come to the program, we would love to talk to you about different opportunities. So, you know, we were thinking there might be book clubs, there might be knitting clubs, there might be euchre or, you know, card clubs, and so we got one response, and it was for people who like to be creative in drawing and that kind of thing, and to just offer a space once or twice a week for them to come for a couple of hours and bring their easels or bring their charcoal and watercolors or whatever, and just be able to be in a room with other people who also like to do art and create, and just have the opportunity to all be together. And, you know, probably we would have a coffee pot and some cookies there, and ask everyone to throw in a toonie and, you know, help themselves to coffee and cookies. And so we did have one person reach out about that. So that's my update, to let you know that we only got one response, and that was it.
Okay.
So more than likely, I will be pursuing, not more than likely, I will be pursuing this opportunity with this individual. And, you know, the only thing I ask of that individual, because we, obviously we do not have staffed facilities, is we have to have one individual who'll take, kind of, not control, but who will be responsible. So sort of the way we run the ping pong club is, we've got an individual who says, yes, I'll be there every week, and I will be responsible for opening and closing and making sure the community center is secured at the end of every Wednesday evening when they play pickleball or play ping pong. So that's what we would be looking for in this kind of this art group, to say, well, as long as somebody is responsible for the key and letting everybody in and making sure the facility is locked up at the end of the night, then, or the end of the afternoon, whatever it is, then we're more than happy to do this.
Yeah, what kind of a timing when you say so it's not a Friday night or a Saturday night when we're going to
Right.
have a wedding, but we actually don't. I mean, it could be any time during the week, right?
Yeah.
A Tuesday morning.
Pretty much non-prime times hours are Monday through Friday up until 5 p.m. on Friday. So you can come. So it could be an evening, it could be a Tuesday evening, it could be, you know, a Monday afternoon, a Thursday morning, that kind of thing.
So it was disappointing. I mean, it's a terrific idea. I'll bring my whatever and come over. But what should we have advertised more? I mean, I did see your advertisements. It was on the Facebook page. It was on the not the newsletter, but the website.
It did go. It went in one of the newsletters.
It did, right? The print.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it on a print thing.
Yeah, it did go in a newsletter.
I think it's a wonderful idea and very generous of the town to offer facilities free of charge. So I'm very surprised that more people haven't reached out, which tells me that it's the lack of awareness in terms of the community understanding what options are available.
Yeah. So what do we do to get them to know?
It's a really good question. I mean, I can once again bring it up at council. It's recorded in council minutes, council notes about the program. We can get Emma to get it back out there on social media again.
I mean, they do say about the social media that, you know, post often and, you know, repeat people. And what's that? People have to hear things 7 times before they learn it, and all those kinds of that. I always think, you know, I don't want to be bothering you. Here's my message, and didn't you see it or whatever? But maybe that's it, to just send it out more frequently. What do you think?
Just keep it out there, yeah.
That's exactly right. When it comes to that kind of stuff, you just keep talking, and it takes a long time before it builds. And then you have people doing it, and they start posting that they're doing something there. So it's just, you start slow on these things always. And if you've got one starting, that's a good thing. Like, it's going to take a while.
Yeah, I agree with you,
Awesome
Wayne. I mean,
okay.
I remember a million years ago when I did the first Halloween party for the town of Mono. I think I had 8 kids at it. No, and now
people,
we have 200.
Yeah, people no longer read the body of anything that you post online. If it's not in the title, they're never going to see it. So it would just need to be blazed across with a headline of free facilities or something like that.
Yeah.
Is there a reason we just do seniors?
This was just a new idea for seniors.
Yeah, it was, you know, seniors and youth are what we call our
vulnerable sector.
Vulnerable, thank you. Thank you. Our vulnerable.
So we're trying to create a specific need that we had that we were trying to address.
Yeah, trying to get, you know, the seniors out there and get them more active. That was the whole gist of it, to try and provide more for senior program, because I think somewhere it was mentioned, we did a couple of years ago a programming survey for Mono, and I will say that it was the best responded to survey in all of the surveys that Mono puts out. This was the best responded to survey. And one of the things in that survey was the desire for more senior activities, like activities for more seniors, more activities for seniors. That's how I'm trying to say it. Yeah.
Right. So, and when we have approached people who offer things like dance classes or whatever, and you know, you want to do it as in a hey, what do you think about doing it in the seniors thing? It's more about well, I'm trying to run a business, and so you know, this is the money thing, which kind of defeats the idea of you know, the community and something for the
community networking, not small business opportunity. Yes,
that's right.
Correct.
Right. Like a number of years ago, we had the Mono Square dancing. They were called the Mono Squares, and it was a square dancing group. And they had, I'm not kidding, they had upwards of 80 members, and we gave them use of the hall every Monday night. And they would charge their, you know, I think they charged $4 a person or something like that to attend. And for that, but because they always had to pay the caller, because they had an actual square dancing caller come to the, like, it was phenomenal. I went a few times, and I just couldn't believe how fabulous this was. And then at the end of the year, they always had this thing called an ice cream social. So at the last event, they made sundaes for everybody, and I think people paid a little bit more to come to the ice cream social. And then what was so sweet is when it was all said and done, so it ran every year from about October through till June, is they normally came to council in August and gave a donation to the hall. You know, it'd be anywhere from about $600 to $1,000 donation, as as their thank you for letting them use the hall free of charge. It was awesome. It ran.
Sounds
It was
So
awesome. It must have ran for 10, 12 years. And, you know, there were a couple of members of the community that were the spearheaders of it. And I worked closely with them. But it was their square dancing program, and it was great. Yeah, I loved it. It was just a win-win all the way around.
Irina,
Love to
you
have-
wanted to jump in?
Just a question. What about board games? Is
Yeah.
anybody interested in that anymore?
Oh,
Just
that
come
is a
and spend
big thing
time.
these days. There are
Huge.
huge clubs now where they meet and play different board games. So that is a big thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
we're
we could,
open to just about anything. Like if there's a group, like if there's a club of board gamers out there and they said, you know what, Kim, can you offer a space from 2 to 4 every Wednesday afternoon? Or, you know, sure. How many tables do you want me to have set up for you? You know, like no problem. You bring the games, you bring the people, set her up for you.
give you the space. Yeah, see, Wayne, that's what you're. Yeah, that's the difference, right? What we're really looking for is not somebody that with who's interested in a small business thing, right? It's some of the community thing, which, you know, wow, was it in the 90s the square dancing people were doing stuff? Like a different time than now, eh? Just crazy.
Did I start with Mono? I started with Mono 1990. So, yeah, it would have been around 1995 through to 2010, something like that. We did it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Irina, I want to follow up on that because we're looking for things to put on the April agenda. I like that idea of a board game night. So maybe we can discuss giving that a shot and
Yeah.
seeing what happens.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
it too.
I like it.
Dominoes, did dominoes count as a board game? I played dominoes
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
the other day.
Anything that's on the board or on the table.
Anything on the table, okay. It sounds like a great idea. Okay.
Yeah, so, well, I was thinking to have something like that for seniors, maybe like, I was thinking to put out a poll on one of the busy groups, like Town of Mono groups or Orangeville groups, putting a poll where people could vote what would they like and which days they would like. I was thinking to do something like that.
And I wouldn't even just confine it to seniors. I know this program
Anybody.
is about the seniors, but all ages would love to take part, I think.
Yeah,
Or even
sounds
like
great.
teenagers bringing their grandmother or grandfather with them for a board game night.
That would be so nice.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So would we do something in the afternoon or like one of the nights, or
Well,
would we have like an ongoing club that
yeah.
was
So,
which
Irina, I'm just going to say, in the interest of time here, because normally, like, we've gone way over our normal time of 90 minutes for this meeting. Why don't, like Mike said, why don't we put this on our next agenda for April?
Oh, okay.
I
Sorry.
love your idea. I think it's awesome. And we can put some, you know, some juice into it and find out, you know, exactly how we should do it. And, you know, do we want to have a date in the fall or something? And kind of get this going, or do we want to do it in the summer, or do we want to wait till 2026? Like, just get some ideas going about it.
Okay.
It's a great idea. Love it.
Okay. Our next meeting date is April the 16th at 5:30, virtually again. Upcoming Valentine's Euchre, Make Mono Shine, and Mono Melodies, of course. So spread the word. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Rupal, Dave, everyone. Okay. Take care, everyone. Have a good evening.
All right.
So
Bye.
evening.
Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Good night.
Hey, bye.
Night.
Good
Night,
night.
everyone.
Good night,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody. It was great.
It was great. Yeah. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Where's the,
Thanks, Kim.
oh, here it is.
You bet.